My name is Kay Henderson. I grew up in Lenox, Iowa on a farm. My dad raised purebred polled Herefords, and when I was in 4-H, I showed cattle. I actually belonged to 2 4-H clubs. In Lenox, I belonged to the Platte Peppy Pals, and then in Clearfield, which was my dad's home area, I belonged to the Calvary Go-Getters. I went to Iowa State University, and when I was first there, I met someone who worked at WOI-AM, and I got a job doing play-by-play, essentially, of the Iowa legislature's debate. And so I did that for 3 years. In 1987, I was hired to help start the Radio Iowa Network, and I am currently the news director, and I've done that since 1997. I first came on this set, although it looked a little different back in 1987 in October, and I was one of the questioners on the program. I have been the host for about a couple of years. I had a really wide variety of things that I did in 4-H. I obviously did cooking and I did sewing, but I also refinished furniture, and some of that furniture is still in my house. A rocking chair that belongs to long ago family members, a library table, a desk, a hall tree that my dad built in the 1930s in Clearfield, Iowa. I refinished that. So those are things that I did when I was, in my pre-teens and teenage years, and they are still existing in my house today. When I was in 4-H, we were required to keep a record book. And so you took pictures, you took clippings from the newspaper about events in which you were involved as a club member or as a club, as a unit. And then you cast sort of a story of your past year in 4-H every single year. And it's kind of a way to sort of refresh your memory about the things that you did in 4-H. And it also taught you how to assemble your thoughts, sort of screen out the things that weren't important and put the most important things in that record book as a way to sort of chronicle how you moved through life. One of the great things about 4-H is that you do things in person. And I think right now we're in an environment where people live behind a screen. And so in 4-H, you're part of a unit, you're part of a club. You learn about your friends, you learn about people who have similar interests. You work as a team on projects. You learn how to run a meeting, which is invaluable in some ways. In some places you may go down the line. And you build a sense of community and shared purpose, which I think you might not get in other settings if you didn't belong to that sort of multi-generational group as a kid.